Tina, ginawa!
I usually do events for Globe, so this is a bit of a change for my daily grind. So my name is Tina. I am actually a brand manager for Globe at home. So some of you media have seen me around the events, but right now I'm a speaker, resource person for myBusiness Academy. So I'll be sharing a few tips about how I started. Small lang ako before talaga, as in I started using my mobile phone. Until I started posting, doing flat lay, stop shot, and then a lot of small companies noticed, and a lot of big ones also noticed. So at the moment, I think it was mentioned during the profile to me. I'm currently with a mirrorless camera company as one of their resource person and influencers. So just for a few tips, how I started and how I go through my photos before I post them. Next. Okay, so just to share, ito yung feel right now with the photos that has been being posted online. It's more of the millennial feel, as they call it. It's mostly muted, it's mostly earth tone, it's saturated. Why? Because a lot of people have been influenced with, of course, posts from Instagram, Facebook, a lot of applications online that they can download and use some filter. But I think a lot of kids are appreciative of the natural color, a little bit of dark tone, muted and subdued colors. And it can be attributed with a lot of their lifestyle. It's very laid back right now. They're not so pressured with, they're not so pressured in learning so much about technicals of photography. I can use my mobile phone in taking photos. So just to share how I started, I was able to buy a simple table in my house. So weekends, I would cook breakfast and parang, uy, there's a natural light. I think it's really nice to take a photo. So I would do a flat lay, like everyone does, with their food, flat lay lang. Uy, ang nice. So I changed the color and then I posted. Just every weekend, I would do that 2 years ago. Until I started adding props, started researching, like any other small business budding entrepreneur probably would just refer to the internet and get inspiration on how to market, how to post their food, how to post their products, and that's how I started as well. Lately, every post is curated. It's not about just putting a plate there and then taking a photo. It's not about the banana there sa may fruit basket. It's about telling a story. Next. So just a sample, these are like dramatic shots, but to be honest, this is taken, I won actually a contest with myBusiness. And I used can I mention the brand? I can mention the brand? I can mention, no, I can't. Okay. So, okay, there's I won a phone, it's an Android phone just to mention. I used that Android phone with this close-up shot, that tight shot, or what they call a bokeh shot, or nag-blur yung likod. So I used that one for this one. The rest are using my mirrorless camera, which I can't mention the brand also, but you can check it out on my IG. So it's like telling a story. It's a story of breakfast. It's a story of having mood tone. When I was shooting this, it's actually, by the way, I don't bake. I don't even cook. So I usually buy and then just take photos of it. As an example, I appreciate small details. I appreciate muted colors. I appreciate the simplicity of things. Similar to this, I added props. So like any other budding photographer, they will always say na, I need to add props, I need to add a nice background, but sometimes it just works as it is. You need to appreciate small details in whatever photos you're taking, whether it's food, whether it's a simple dress, whether it's an interior of a house. So next. Okay, so what are the trends today? What are the usual things that kids or even budding entrepreneurs take photos? They take lifestyle shots. So this is a commission project for a debut. I was about to fly the next day for an event for Globe, but one of my good friends asked me to do a photo for her daughter for a debut. So gave me a lot of props, but basically, I just, the mom wants to capture the lifestyle of her daughter. So, as an example, this is what we call a lifestyle shot. So, you give a feel of what this debutante is. She's sporty, but then again, she loves photography, and she's a musician. When I was doing this layout and trying to think of, oh my God, ang hirap nito, may rubber shoes, tas may camera, tapos may gitara. It was difficult. I think I tried to do about 7 or 8 layouts before I submitted it to my friend, which I treat as a client as well. And then at initial, she loved it. Sabi niya, it's really nice. It's nice that you have a photo of my daughter there, and it's also nice that you show just a simple setup of the guitar, just to show that she's also a musician. You also showed the shoes that, well, it's very expensive shoes, but it's nice that you didn't show the whole thing because it's gonna distort the whole layout. So this is, a lot of kids do this today. It's flat lay, it's top shot, but it's lifestyle. So you tell a story about the person or example about your product. Next. What I'm very, very passionate about is food. Again, I didn't bake this. I just bought this. Okay, so and then I added props. The props that I have right now are, well, some are bought. Actually, this is a cheese cutter board, cheese board actually. This is a cheese board. But I tried to use it as a surface for my cake. I tried to play around with different props, and if you're a budding entrepreneur, you try to maximize whatever things you have. You don't need to buy an expensive surface. Like the props at the back, it came from my parents. My mother has a lot of antique and rustic things in the house. So these are just some of the items that I added and made sure to capture the beauty of it. It looks different on an LED screen, but if you go to my IG account, if you visit my account, this is hard on purple with a frosting on top. It came from one of the cafes here in Makati. Okay, next. Another one that I'm loving lately are landscape shoots, and this is just taken by my phone. Okay, so if I use filter, if you're gonna ask you, I use filter. I don't use filter, but I adjust the color. I adjust the color to show more of the blues rather than the color of the rock. And it matches the color of the water as well. So this is taken by a mobile phone. Okay, next. Taken again with a mobile phone, so you don't need a mirror. Well, of course, I'm an ambassador I'm an influencer for mirrorless camera. I encourage everybody to use a mirrorless camera, but on random moments while walking around BGC, going to my parking, I appreciate a lot of things around me, including the sky. There are moments in somewhere in BGC and Makati, the sky looks different. The colors are very, very nice. It has colors of pink, purple. So simple details like that can add a story to your photograph. So street photography is very big right now, especially if you visit a lot of Facebook groups. When you say street, it's telling a story. It would be nice if you see it on the screen of a phone or at a computer, but looking at it, the color blue, the line here, is very interesting. Out of all the colors that you see around, when you look at the photo on a phone or a computer, you'll notice the blue line there. It's very interesting. So I tell a story here. It doesn't make sense to other people, but for me, it tells a different story. That out of all the muted colors around me, there's still a solid color within the area of BGC, and it's just right between those two buildings where I was standing within my car. Okay, next. A few days before Boracay closed, I was able to fly there. Actually, it was for work, but the work got cancelled. It was for Lay Boracay, it got cancelled. So, of course, sitting on the sand, watching the beautiful sunset of Boracay, I was able to capture kids running. What's interesting about this photo is I was able to capture life over the dark skies and also dark sand. And the people, it was just a spur of the moment shoot using my phone again. I wasn't able to look at it right after. I think I saw this image on my phone a few days after. The people were running around the sand, the dark skies, and one person was here, but nobody was standing between the rays of the sunset. It was very interesting, and the skies are actually, it looks like it's gonna rain at that time. So, if you're a budding photographer, if you're a budding entrepreneur, if you want to start a business with using your mobile phone, you can do a lot of things, whether it be a lifestyle shot, a food photography, or you want to try out, you want to sell, example, a curtain, a table setting, plates. You can do it just using your mobile phone. Next. Just a few tips lang. Focus on your story. Always think of what do I want to relay to my consumer. For food photography, it's very important that you focus on details. But sometimes it's also nice that you go and do a step back and look at what the product you're shooting. In this case, I curated this story of a baker. This is actually the brother of Isago Isidro. He's a budding baker. He doesn't have much of the budget. He was trying to sell his cookies online. So I told him, I'm gonna capture you while you're doing your baking. So this is just some of the shots. One of the big perfect shots that we got was this actual shot that no use of artificial light. We were just beside their kitchen that has the natural light. We captured the shadow, and as well as while he was forming his cookies. So you always focus on your story, on what you want to relate to your customers. Next. Simplicity is the key. Identify which detail of your eye will focus on to. Surprisingly, this is just with the use of an illustration board at the back. And I had a couple of, you know when you go to a coffee shop and you just get those beans because you want to sniff it when you get home, you put it in your car. I'm just being weird. But I have a few coffee beans in my pocket, and then I have this old, an old sack. There's a burlap. This is what you call a burlap. So that's few beans inside my pocket. I tried to shoot it very, very close. And it was a beautiful shot. This is one of the shots that was asked for by that muralist company.